Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Going to start with a very funny story here today. I genuinely thought that Chelsea were playing on Sunday up until about an hour ago. Totally forgot. The game's actually tomorrow. So even though 6 Things We Learned for me was uploaded yesterday morning for the game in the Champions League, we got another game tomorrow. It's coming thick and fast. And if you're happy and excited about that, then make sure you hit the like button on today's Chelsea news and make sure you are subscribed to GBFC. There are a couple of new things to inform you guys of. First of all, tomorrow I will be doing a watch along for Chelsea versus Southampton. I'll be starting the stream about 45 minutes prior to kickoff. The second thing is, with all the new live streaming stuff that I'm doing, I've wanted to open up a new GBFC Discord. And within that Discord, I want to have a section which is through Patreon, where you guys get an opportunity to phone in and be in conversations with me on the stream talking about Chelsea. So I've opened up a Patreon. Link is in the description down below. Through the Patreon, you'll get access to the GBFC Discord. So be sure to go and check that one out. Today, we are talking Chelsea news. We're talking Mason Mount news, big Mason Mount news. We're talking JOão Felix. We are talking Todd Boehly's private meeting for Neymar, and I want to discuss today why I feel as though this is just not right on all fronts now based off of the Chelsea business we've seen. And to be quite fair, I've been bigging up Todd Boehly for a while, and now I don't agree with something that he's doing. I want to say why, because as much as it's all been rosy celebrating big transfers, for me to not want Chelsea to sign Neymar, it's got to be for a good reason. So we're going to talk about that one as well. But the news surrounding Mason Mount ties in with news regarding Chelsea's permanent approach for JOão Felix. Now, Marca in Spain are reporting that Chelsea are preparing a bid to bring JOão Felix to England, to Chelsea, and they are willing to offer Mason Mount as part of the deal. I don't know how true this is. For one second on face value, I don't actually believe that this is what Chelsea want to do. I believe that both Todd Boehly, the Chelsea hierarchy, and Mason Mount are in a mutual understanding that they would like this new Mason Mount deal to go ahead, and Mason remains at Chelsea Football Club. Do I think, in my head, that Mason Mount would entertain a move to Atletico Madrid, taking himself out of the Premier League, when this ties in now to that Liverpool, City and Man United are all looking at his contract situation? To me, I think Chelsea trying to use Mason Mount as a make-weight for a deal for JOão Felix isn't going to work. I don't think the player's going to want the move. If it was me, I would not want the move. When you look at Mason Mount right now, he's on the fringes of starting every game for England under Gareth Southgate. You've got Euros coming up, another World Cup to look forward to in 4 years, or three and a bit years. I think if he moves to La Liga, with all of the players that we've got here in the best league in the world competing, I think any move for an English player of that level away from the UK is only going to hinder playing for your country as well. In my opinion, whether it should or it shouldn't is beyond the point. I think realistically, we do see favouritism to the Premier League from England managers. It's always been that way. And I think Mount moving away, at the moment, a lot of people want to see him leave. A lot of people are looking at the interest from City, United, Liverpool and saying, have him. We don't want him. We don't need him at the club. I do think it's a bit short-sighted. I think we have spent the last few years reveling in how great it's been to see Chelsea Academy players breaking into the first team and excelling at Chelsea Football Club. And now, because of the standards that Mason Mount set for himself from that opening season, I remember being there in all the games at the beginning of the season under Frank Lampard when Mason Mount first broke into the Chelsea team. We'd seen glimmers and glimpses, but I don't have time to watch every Derby County match, I'm not going to lie. And then I remember that game at Norwich. Mount scored, I think, twice that day. And we're thinking, bloody hell, we might have had a transfer ban, but aren't we lucky to see this kiddie come through? And this season, he's been poor. For the last year or so, the big chance creation's gone, the number of assists have gone, the goals have gone, but it doesn't mean that we've already seen the ceiling of Mason Mount. So a move to Atletico Madrid, I think we need to see how this develops. I think Chelsea wouldn't be stupid enough to offer Mason Mount in any kind of make-weight deal for JOão Felix. I think Felix would come to Chelsea regardless of Mason Mount's future. And I also think Chelsea need to keep an eye on that interest of Liverpool, City and Man United. And when you think about what is good about Mason Mount's game, you look at all three of those clubs. Mason Mount is better in all of those teams than he is right now in this Chelsea team. I think the biggest issue we've seen with Mount is we don't really know where to play him. And we know he's good, so we keep playing him, but it's not in a favoured role, and systems maybe don't suit Mason Mount right now at Chelsea. I think that is the harsh reality of the situation. I think that's an explanation as to why things are not been going so well for the player. Let's keep an eye on this. At the moment, there is nothing positive to update regarding the contract situation of Mason Mount. We move into the next story, and it is regarding Todd Boehly going to Paris, having a meeting with the president of Paris Saint-Germain, and trying to see about the availability of Neymar in the summer transfer window. I want to lay down a few blocks here so that we can have an understanding as to why I think this is actually a likely transfer. I don't think this is one of those where, yeah, it's a big name, yeah, maybe he was in Paris. How much of the conversation was about Neymar and how much was I'm really sorry that we screwed up the deal for Hakim Ziyech, but the word Neymar came up once. I don't know the facts of the timings of the conversations that were had with the president of PSG, but what I will say is Todd Boehly wanted a marquee signing. We have known this for a very long time. He's also a businessman. As great as it's been to see Chelsea spend tons of money on players who, to be quite honest, have improved the squad massively, and we're already starting to slowly see performances creep up as well, because we've actually gone and bought good players, and we can only be grateful for Todd Boehly for that. But at the same time, Chelsea Football Club does need to make Clear Lake Capital and Todd Boehly some money. Otherwise, I think there is no longevity in the project for the people that are putting the cash in the project right now. So, what does Neymar do? Well, at 31 years old, you've still got quite a few years left of one of the highest profile sportsmen, not even just footballers, in the world. So you can absolutely understand why Todd Boehly might be very, very keen indeed to bring Neymar to Chelsea. The reason I hate this at the moment is because we have just spent so much money on Mykhailo Mudryk. You've also got deals like JOão Felix's deal that we want to see go through. There is also desperate need for Chelsea to buy another central midfielder to partner Enzo Fernandez for the future. So, for Chelsea to bring Neymar to Stamford Bridge would require an extortionate amount of money. Maybe the transfer fee wouldn't be the most mind-boggling world record fee that we saw a few years ago because he is 31 years old. But the wages would be through the roof. And to me, when we look at all of the players we've just gone ahead and bought, yes, they're on good money or big money, and I'd absolutely love to be making what Enzo Fernandez is making. But Chelsea have changed the wage structure at the club. We have changed the way that we're offering contracts now to protect ourselves in a way, even though, ironically, it seems weird saying, yeah, we've given 8.5-year contracts out, well done, you're protecting yourself. But if you look at the actual numbers of the figures per week that these players are making, it's nothing like the crazy deals that we've given out in the past. So would Neymar ever accept that? No. Would Chelsea have to change and alter this new process in order to bring Neymar? Yes, we probably would. We'd have to offer him an astronomical sum of money because this guy's on the big, big mega bucks at Paris Saint-Germain. So Neymar to Chelsea, I think as a personality as well, he's such a phenomenal footballer on his day. Generational, a word that is thrown out so often, but Neymar will go down as one of the best players of his generation. 31 years old, yes, there is still legs in there, and I certainly think he would do well. And I think when a player is that good, even if the Premier League transition and players going in on him, attacking him, injuries probably, yes, but Neymar would be class. I just think that the way that we've built up until this point with the last two transfer windows, it's going in a positive trajectory. I think you can hear players like Reece James talking about the way that the squad needs to gel. You keep on just throwing in players like that. When Chelsea specifically do need a striker, not another winger, I just think that maybe Boehly's missing the boat here. If you want a marquee signing, go and buy Jude Bellingham. That solves a big problem. You want a marquee signing, go and buy Victor Osimhen. He'll score multiple goals and win Chelsea more competitions than Neymar would if we were to sign him. So, I think at the moment, it's about defining what marquee means. Does marquee mean a big, big name that's going to sell hundreds of thousands, if not millions of shirts worldwide to bring Boehly in his money back? Or is it marquee where Chelsea become even more of a formidable force on the field? Yes, Neymar improves Chelsea, but Victor Osimhen, break the bank for this geezer instead, because he's going to score so many goals and solve another positional problem for many years to come, same as Jude Bellingham. But anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts upon this in the comments down below. Neymar is obviously a massive name in football, so I fully understand, and I would be excited if we were to get him, but I think priorities should be other positions, another DM and another striker. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on, because Southampton, the preview, is out later before the game tomorrow. Come on, you Blues.